Now Elzy's going to have to earn 2 at the free throw line instead of Wyman's follow-up that had already dropped through the net. Tougaloo, though, a good passage of play. Bulldogs up 1.
The first time I picked up a Spartan TF ball, I knew it was built different. You know that feeling from that first moment on, it never leaves your hand. It raises you, lifts you to new heights, got you doing things like that. And once you're hooked, ain't nothing gonna stop that. It teaches you to be a student first, to lay it all out, just to do it again.
And again.
From the moment you pick up a TF ball, it's always there for you. Now do something with it.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads, and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
The winner of this game will win the Naismith Quadrant and advance to the Fab Four Friday night for a 5 o'clock Central Time tip against the winner of 4th seeded Montana Tech and number 7 OUAZ, the lowest remaining seed in the field. Later on tonight, Grace and Georgetown, Arizona Christian and Indiana Tech in the more predictable side of the bracket with 2 1s, a 2, and a 3. And those 2 winners will advance for the second game of our Fab Four Friday, and then Saturday night on ESPN 3 at 7 Central. We will hand out a red banner for the National Championship game here at Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City. Hope you've joined us for some of the exciting action the last couple of days as we sorted out the round of 16, and now kicking off the quarterfinals today. Charles Elzy at the free throw line for 2. Highlighted him at the outset. He had those 25 points to lead the Yotes in their 98-50 win over LSU Shreveport on Monday. Only averages about 10 a game, the junior from Tacoma, Washington, but it was his day. 75% foul shooter, and he gets both, thankfully, too, because he would have felt for the Yotes had they lost any points off of that foul call, because had the foul not been called, Wyman had a free 2 that he had already put in the bucket. Still 4 starters for College of Idaho, along with Johnny Radford, the leading scorer off the bench. Here's Darius Henyard, challenged by Robinette, and it's knocked out by Robinette. We'll stay with Tougaloo with 10 on the timer. You wonder if this might be the first time that Kobe Blaine is not able to go as deep into his bench for as many minutes, because the game really changed when the Yotes had 4 substitutes on the floor. Especially at the offensive end, they were not able to move the ball and break down Tougaloo as easily as the Yotes have on these last couple of possessions with the starters. Ball still loose, eventually handled by Copeland, but it was knocked out of his hands by Elzy, and then he fouled O'Neal. Wyman elevates and scores. The Yotes are just getting into the middle of that defense so much more easily with this group. They're moving the ball very quickly, crisply, efficiently. And it's not unusual at this stage for NAIA teams to really ride their starters hard. Not necessarily the Yotes MO. Brunt off the mark. O'Neal able to poke the rebound away. Henyard got into Robinette. Some physical action in both of those contests. Jones was a little bit into the back of O'Neal. Here he goes up over Robinette, and Wyman snatches the board, his 5th. Elzy goes over Jones, offensive foul. That was an easy call, sloppy from Charles Elzy. Picks up his second personal foul already. And he's going to come off. Only 3 fouls called against College of Idaho in the first 12 minutes. Only 6 fouls total. But Elsie is the first man with 2. So he checks out. And Caden Handren is back on, along with Samaje Morgan. Jones works on Wyman, has the size advantage. Henyard cut off by Robinette, and Morgan has a steal. 2-on-1 with Handren, has to get it right. Perfect pass for the lefty finish. College of Idaho lead has grown back to 5. The Yotes have led by as many as 6. But Tougaloo has not looked rattled. And if the Bulldogs hit a couple more 3-pointers, they've had some good looks that haven't gone down. Things could change. They're just 1 of 9 from 3-point range. Generally a pretty good 3-point shooting team. Jones works in on Robinette, goes up over him and scores. Daryl Jones has 4. Wonder how long Antonio Patterson will be sitting on the Tougaloo bench as well. I think he might have just come to the scorers table thinking he's going to get ready to check in. O'Neal on the baseline. Tough reverse, and he spins it home off glass. What a finish by Jake O'Neal. 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists for O'Neal already. Jones given a lot of space. Couldn't get the floater. That's a shot he might have to make. He just backed off of him even from 12 feet. Morgan wide open. Goes underneath to Robinette, turns into Jones, has it swatted. Handren saves it to O'Neal. That was probably going to be Yotes basketball, but Caden Handren saw an opportunity. And Jake O'Neal has 8 points to give College of Idaho its largest advantage of the day. A 10-2 run for the Yotes, now up 7. Cameron Copeland hasn't done much. I feel like there he goes. You could feel that coming, but he might want to just hoist one. This is 4-on-2 if they hurry. Robinette slipped it around Copeland. What a play by Tyler Robinette. That should have been a charge. He somehow avoided Copeland with his body and with a basketball on opposite sides. And O'Neal, the grateful recipient of another bucket. 10 points for Jake O'Neal. He's the first man into double figures. College of Idaho has 10 assists on 13 made baskets. Look at this finish by O'Neal. He took off outside the lane and finished on the other side. Robinette the bucket over Jones, or rather Handren the save to O'Neal, and then Robinette in transition. Look at this pass. Oh my goodness. He went to the left of Copeland, the ball went to the right, and O'Neal laid it up and in. 10 assists on 13 made field goals for the Yotes. You certainly hope, and Tougaloo could still be that team, you hope that there will be competition to really push College of Idaho here in Kansas City, because LSU Shreveport was not that team. Whether Tougaloo is that team remains to be seen. Certainly the Bulldogs have put up more of a fight as they've taken these early punches than the Pilots did on Monday. At the same time, when the Yotes are playing their game and getting out and running and moving the ball as well as they do, it is beautiful basketball. And especially yesterday, we did not see a ton of beautiful basketball. Doesn't have to be beautiful to be exciting. Fielder 3 off the heel, Patterson. Oh my goodness, Antonio Patterson. He has 11 points. He's made all 5 shots from the field. Took a while to get him back in off the bench, but I'm not sure he's going to be playing, spending too much more time on the bench the rest of this game the way he's going right now. Rogers skip pass. O'Neal wants a triple. Left it short. Chance for Tougaloo to put a couple of baskets together in a row. Copeland, Fielder. Woodall over Robinette, and he's fouled. Antonio Patterson was way up for this putback. Look at where he grabbed that basketball. Wow. That is something. He's grabbing it. The ball is still at the top of the square. His fingers have to be what? 11.5 feet off the ground there? That's impressive. Perfect timing by Patterson and the finish. It's a 7-point lead for College of Idaho. Free throws coming for Tougaloo after this.
There's a beat in all of us. It drives us, it inspires us, and it pushes us through. It is there in preparation, it is there in battle, it is there in defeat and success. It's the engine, it's our guide. And this beat is my own. This beat is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water, hydration for athletes.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. People call me all the time and they say, hey Mike, we take my small case. Well listen, no case is small at my law firm. Every case is big. Whether you have a case worth $20,000 or a case worth millions of dollars, you'll have the full power and attention of my law firm. When you hire my law firm, a team of people working on your case, no matter how big or how small it is. Big cases or small, call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500. That's 816-888-7500.
A lot of young kids out in the game today. They bring a bunch of elementary school and middle school kids out here on field trips the NAIA does for these day games. Through the Champions of Character program, the kids get to be down in essentially the basement of the arena doing a bunch of programming that the NAIA has. You can see them there in the background behind Woodall at the other end. Getting to learn about the 5 core values of the NAIA. And then they get to watch a little bit of NAIA quarterfinal basketball. Not a bad day. Beats match. So Woodall 0 for 2 at the stripe. Tougaloo just not shooting the ball well so far. That's a big part of the reason for this deficit. The other is how efficient College of Idaho has been at this end. The ball movement. Tougaloo is just scrambling by the middle part of the shot clock on a lot of these possessions. Morgan inside Wilson. O'Neal on the offensive glass. Jake O'Neal has 12 points and 7 rebounds. We're only 16 minutes in. 9-point advantage for the Yotes. Here's Antonio Patterson, who's been the only one shooting well for Tougaloo. That's his first miss. And Morgan comes the other way. Yotes get out so quickly on the break. Morgan got caught in the air. O'Neal open for 3. Yes! It's all Jake O'Neal, 15 points, and he gives the Yotes their first double-digit advantage. Fielder, pass tip, in the air, hand ran the other way. He's looking at Rogers, goes instead to Morgan. Double teamed. O'Neal thought about another one. Rogers short corner. O'Neal steps in. He is hit, no call. There it is. Had to be a foul on Patterson. Still somehow Rogers spinning around, or O'Neal I should say, spinning around after taking that contact. Almost got it to go. He hit the rim. It's just all Jake O'Neal right now. That's a physical rebound. Sort of, we talked about Patterson doing it inside and outside. Physical rebound and putback, and then the ability to hit the three-pointer. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Make it 16 points and counting for Jake O'Neal, a 70% free throw shooter, sophomore from Fruitland, Idaho. Handren checks out. Johnny Radford back on for the Yotes. 13-point lead. O'Neal misses, gets his own rebound, couldn't score. That would have been too much. As it is, they tie up Patterson, but a foul. O'Neal managed to get his own miss on the free throw. Just couldn't get the layup. And he's getting a big hand as he checks out. What a first half for Jake O'Neal. College of Idaho up by 13 with 3 and change to go. Mentioned Tougaloo just hasn't shot well. The Bulldogs are 1 of 11 from 3 and 2 of 5 at the free throw line. They haven't been bad. Only 3 turnovers. They have been out-rebounded by 9 in the first half, which is not typical for them. Copeland, good look. Rebounded by Wilson. Those are the shots, though. I mean, those are not bad looks. It's sort of what we talked about with Jamestown yesterday. That they're getting good looks, and if they don't go in, you know, what else can you do? That's a shot that Cameron Copeland has to take just about every time, especially with the Yotes playing the zone. You hit 2 or 3 of those, and all of a sudden you can force them to make changes defensively. Copeland, again, off the heel, rebounded by Morgan. Just nothing going for Cameron Copeland after his 20 points on Monday in the Tougaloo win. He is 0 for 5 so far, all on 3-pointers this afternoon. Wyman deep 3. He gets his own miss. Patterson just didn't block out at all. He was almost standing out of bounds. And this is one of those things we saw from LSU Shreveport in the first half. When you get behind and the Yotes just keep coming at you, it's hard to remain disciplined then. And those sorts of mistakes can be really costly. They got a miss. They should have been out the other way. Instead, College of Idaho gets a second chance. This time Patterson tracks down the rebound. Patterson works it on Wyman, tied up for a moment, and a help ball. Possession arrow favors College of Idaho, so the Yotes get it back with $1:37 to go. Andrew back on. Morgan out. Gotta love a guy like Tate Andrew, too, who just does not fill up the box score, doesn't feel the need to. But he spends a lot of time with the ball in his hands and picks a lot of these passes for the Yotes. Stratton Rogers, finally, his first points in Kansas City. That must be a weight off his shoulders. Just 2 points the last 5.5 minutes for Tougaloo. The lead is 15 now for the Yotes. Ooh, that's an impressive bounce pass by Beans. Patterson was completely surrounded by 3 white jerseys. Wyman on the run. Rogers make it Radford for 3, and it's an 18-point lead for College of Idaho. Johnny Radford starting to get a little more comfortable. He did not shoot well by his standards on Monday, but he set a couple of threes in the first half today. Patterson in traffic. Rogers rebound, surrounded by 3 black jerseys, and it's just creating opportunities for College of Idaho to get out of the secondary break. That's one of the other things we saw, is the way guys will just surround defensive rebounders after the rebound when they're frustrated trying to get a cheap turnover. Maybe you get one in a blue moon, but more often you're just outnumbered going the other direction. Wyman step back to the foul line. Rebounded by Woodall, 10 seconds. Fielder on the run, it's too far in front of him. Unlucky mistake for Tougaloo. Not a bad idea, but a risky one, because now College of Idaho still has 8 seconds to get a final shot up. Samaje Morgan back in for Wilson. Hendren goes out. Elzion and Robinette back in for Rogers. It's a small, quick 5 on the floor for Kobe Blaine. Here comes Morgan. Morgan to the baseline, all the way in. Adjusts and scores. Samaje Morgan just before the horn, and College of Idaho leads by 20 at halftime. Can you believe the Yotes? A 48-point win on Monday. They trailed this game around the midway point of the first half, and they lead by 20 at the break. The #1 overall seed looks virtually unbeatable, and Eric Struthers has a lot of work to do with his Bulldogs at halftime. We'll take a break and return to look at the first half stats, get you ready for the final 20 minutes. Game 1 of 4 on quarterfinal Wednesday here in Kansas City. Yotes up 43-23 at the break.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in emotions. I feel good, or I feel like I'm getting better, or I feel like I'm getting worse. But having data, big data over a long stretch of time allows you to actually see your work come into fruition in the form of progress. It just allows you to create a better perspective over your progression. To ignore it entirely is doing yourself a disservice because it's a resource that's available to you.
There are two key moments in any college journey: when an acceptance letter arrives and the day the college education is paid off. And College Ave Student Loans is with you to help cover costs all along the way. We offer stress-free private student loans for undergrads, grad students, for parents, even loans to refinance your existing loans. Whether you're starting college, already in the workplace, or just trying to figure things out, turn to College Ave and breathe easy.
Did you know only 2% of college graduates feel that they've had a magical college experience? At St. University, we see the magic happening every day. When your professor becomes your mentor and learning becomes your passion. When you join a student organization and meet your friends for life. When your classes and activities prepare you for the real world and a successful career. At STU, our students live the magic, and their college experience leads to limitless possibilities. Visit stu.edu today.
After 100 years, why are we still pushing for more? Because at Thomas More, we're inspired to help you create and live a fuller life. That means creating more opportunities for you inside the classroom and out. Programs that lead to something more than a job, a fulfilling career, and expecting more from our faculty and staff to help give you the opportunity to become the remarkable person you were created to be. Thomas More University. Make it more.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app. Instant uploads and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
The thing I love about Clark is that you're never just one thing. I'm not just a student, I'm a future doctor. I'm an athlete on a history-making team. I'm a community member supporting the causes I care about. I'm a friend, a neighbor, a leader. At Clark, you can become anything. What will you be? Be you at CU.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
It's more than an education. It's more than a degree. William Penn University is alive with opportunity. Opportunity in a diverse student body. Opportunity in a staff that works with your budget. Opportunity in over 30 programs of study. Opportunity in a classroom where your voice is heard. Find your future and the opportunities waiting for you. Start your planning today at wmpenn.edu and see why William Penn University is alive with opportunity.
First time I picked up a Spartan TF ball, I knew it was built different. You know that feeling from that first moment on, it never leaves your hand. It raises you, lifts you to new heights, got you doing things like that. And once you're hooked, ain't nothing gonna stop that. It teaches you to be a student first, to lay it all out, just to do it again.
And again.
From the moment you pick up a TF ball, it's always there for you. Now do something with it.
It's easy to get caught up in emotions around, oh, I feel good, or I feel like I'm getting better, or I feel like I'm getting worse. But having data, big data, over a long stretch of time allows you to actually see your work come into fruition in the form of progress. It just allows you to create a better perspective over your progression. To ignore it entirely is doing yourself a disservice because it's a resource that's available to you.
There's a beat in all of us. It drives us, it inspires us, and it pushes us through. It is there in preparation, it is there in battle, it is there in defeat, and success. It's the engine, it's our guide. And this beat is my own. This beat is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water, hydration for athletes.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. People call me all the time and they say, hey Mike, we take my small case. Well listen, no case is small at my law firm. Every case is big. Whether you have a case worth $20,000 or a case worth millions of dollars, you'll have the full power and attention of my law firm. When you hire my law firm, you get a team of people working on your case, no matter how big or how small it is. Big cases or small, call me. I've got this.
Call 816-888-7500. That's 816-888-7500.
College of Idaho, after trailing a couple of times to Tougaloo, not by much in the first half, just ran away with it in the latter stages of the opening segment, and it's a 20-point lead for the Yotes at the break, really dominating in every facet. That doesn't mean it was all bad for Tougaloo. Antonio Patterson came off the bench, hit his first 5 shots. He had 11 points in the first half to easily lead the Bulldogs to almost half of their total scoring. Meanwhile, for College of Idaho, normally a very balanced attack, a lot more concentrated in the starting lineup, particularly in Jake O'Neal. 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists for O'Neal in the first half. He was 7 of 11 from the field. He made a 3. He split his 2 free throws. Could have probably had 20 points if he got a couple of those back, but what a phenomenal first half for O'Neal. Sophomore from Fruitland, Idaho, averages 10.5 a game when he got here to Kansas City. That number is on the rise. Fielder turns off the mark, rebounded by Jones, goes back up, left it short, and tie up with Henyard and O'Neal. And College of Idaho gets it. The Yotes got out to a 98-50 win on Monday over LSU Shreveport. We'll see if this one stretches out similarly. O'Neal fall away. Rebounded by Henyard. I'd be surprised if it gets anywhere close to that, just considering the resistance Tougaloo has shown already. But it's going to be a tall task for the Bulldogs if they don't start hitting threes at a much higher rate than they did in the first half, when they were 1 for 13. That's 7%. Copeland, 1 for 14. And Cameron Copeland, you don't want to single him out because I don't think he's taking back shots, but Cameron Copeland, much like Mason Walters was the face of Jamestown's struggles to shoot yesterday, is the face of Tougaloo's struggles shooting so far today. He is 0 for 6. All from 3-point range. He has 1 point at the free throw line. That's after he went for 20 on Monday. He just sort of has to shoot his way out of it. Copeland in the paint. No, sir. Nothing for either team past the opening minute of the second half. LZ steps in for 2. He had a quiet first half after his 25 points on Monday. He has 4 now, part because he picked up a couple of fouls, so didn't play quite as many minutes as he otherwise might have in that first half. Henyard on Robinette. Jabs to the baseline, fall away from 10, rebounded by Wyman. He has 9 boards to go with 4 points and 4 assists. Wyman wants the 3. Good block out by Copeland on O'Neal, who's been a pest on the glass as well. Jones comes away with it for Tougaloo. How about that 21-2 run? The 21 is impressive. I think the 2 is more impressive. 2 points for the Bulldogs in 9 minutes. Henyard, nice little Euro, split the double, but couldn't get it to go. Wyman, Robinette, open 3. Tyler Robinette, second 3-pointer. Copeland doubled. Fielder has a numbers advantage and cannot score. Another good look. You wonder why the Yotes doubled that way. And you maybe want to get the ball out of Copeland's hands, but that created an opportunity. Doesn't matter. Robinette the dunk at the other end. Timeout Tougaloo. College of Idaho has scored all 7 points in the opening 3 minutes of this second half. 26-2 run for the Yotes. They lead by 27 points. How about it? LZ, no look. Robinette knows what to do. 50-23.
Inspiration. The divine influence of something. How do we inspire? We build ourselves up. We help each other out. We work hard so that we can achieve big things. We are Avalon. Be inspired.
Again, same old Yotes. Won by 48 on Monday. They're up 27 with 17 men still to go against Tougaloo in our first quarterfinal today. Who is going to put up the resistance? I think that's the question. Is it going to be in the Fab Four, assuming no miracle comeback for Tougaloo, where they would face the winner of 4th-seeded Montana Tech and 7th-seeded OUAZ? Maybe if Montana Tech weren't down its leading scorer, it would be more of a conversation. On the other side, there are 2 1-seeds left, Grace and Arizona Christian. Indiana Tech, I don't know, looked like they'd be up to the task. Georgetown maybe got the experience of the big stage, although none of the current players have played here in Kansas City before this year. Copeland rising fire. Wyman up for the rebound. It's knocked out by O'Neal, and Tougaloo will keep it. Copeland again. Just will not go for him. Brunt tries. No. 3 3-pointers on this possession for Tougaloo. None of them have gone down. Copeland is 0 for 7. Tougaloo is 1 for 17. Tougaloo goes to the full court pressure. A lob for Elsie. He's got away from him. And O'Neal on the following offensive foul. That's his second and the first against either team so far in the second half. College of Idaho putting on a little pressure of its own, maybe just to try to slow Tougaloo down. I don't know that I'd be changing anything if I were the Yotes. Intercepted by Wyman. Sort of a dangerous pass for Handren, but it works its way back to Wyman for another bucket. 16 assists on 21 made field goals for College of Idaho. Wyman has 6 points. And there is finally another bucket for Tougaloo. Fielder gets inside. Still a 28-4 run, but it snaps a string of more than 10.5 minutes with only 2 points for Tougaloo. Handren doubled. Wyman, O'Neal on the backside. Reverse wouldn't go, but a foul. And that's where Tougaloo doesn't have a whole lot of choice at this point, down by 27 with 15 3/4 to go in the game. So you can understand Eric Struthers wanting to go to that kind of pressure. On the other hand, of all teams, I'm not sure you really want to pressure to that degree. You're sort of setting yourself up for failure with the way College of Idaho moves the ball. I'm not sure there are going to be that many additional turnovers. And you got to force enough turnovers from it to counteract, to offset at least, if not still come out ahead in the aggregate as compared to the number of open layups you're going to end up conceding. And I think against the Yotes, as compared to most teams, that number is higher. Woodall wanted a lob from Fielder, didn't get it. Fielder thought about a long one. Underneath, Woodall, power dribble and 2. Morgan got Patterson in the air and was fouled. Second foul against Tougaloo in the half. Wilson on Patterson. Outside Radford. Wilson reposts. Spins baseline. Nice lefty hook off the window. Paul Wilson has 4 points to go with 5 rebounds and a couple assists. All 9 Yotes who have appeared have scored. Patterson for 3. Rebounded by Morgan. Morgan, wide open triple. Was well off. He looked more confident in it on the release. Not a great three-point shooter this year, just at 25%. Fielder, tough pull-up. Rebounded by Radford, and here come the Yotes. Morgan spots up. Radford wants it himself. Tracks down his own miss. Morgan attacks. I don't know if he was going up for that or probably trying to feed it to Rogers. Either way, it takes us into a timeout. College of Idaho holding at a 27-point lead with 14 and a couple to go in the game. College of Idaho very nearly doubled up LSU Shreveport on Monday. The Yotes won the game 98-50, 2 points off double. And well, they're doubling up Tougaloo right now. It's 54-27 with 14:02 to go in our second half. Game 1 of 4 in Kansas City today. Nate Gatter back with you. Thanks for joining us, the NAIA Network and YouTube. Morgan cut off by Patterson and a foul. Patterson, third personal foul. Only 7 have been called in the whole game against Tougaloo, but Patterson has 3 of them. He's going to stay out there. There's really no point in trying to protect anybody at this stage, down 27. Tougaloo needs everything to go right the rest of the way. Radford trying to lob it to Wilson. That was ill-advised. Patterson in the way for an easy steal. Antoine Beans, tough 3, make it a 2, of course. Even when Tougaloo hits a tough outside shot, it's only a 2. Underneath, all the way in for the layup. Just his second bucket. He's only tried 2 shots in the field. Caden Handren. You could almost not notice him if you only look at the box score. You notice him if you watch the game, though. Woodall spins on Wilson. Nice finish. It's a shame for Tougaloo that more of these threes haven't gone down, because there were a few minutes there in the first half, especially when they initially fell behind and then had that little comeback, where it looked like maybe they were going to push College of Idaho a bit more Oh, look at Wilson. He did a little misdirection, looking the wrong way, and a blocking foul on Darian Pierce Jr. How about the 7-footer, Paul Wilson? He had options. I thought he was going to try to kick it maybe for a 3 on that left wing. He had Radford over there. Look at this. He's been watching YouTube videos. Little look toward Handren. Almost something resembling a little Euro, a little cut there on his last step. Paul Wilson's playing point guard tomorrow. Or I guess we're off tomorrow, Friday. He misses both, though, and Woodall the rebound. Woodall off the mark. Patterson taps the rebound nearly to himself, but Wilson intervened. Morgan whistles it underneath for Rogers. That looked more like the first half College of Idaho offense. 27-point lead again with a dozen to go. Montana Tech and OUAZ next up. The 4 against the 7 in the Kramer for the right to play the winner of this game, which looks like it's going to be the right to play the #1 overall seed, unanimous #1 team in the NAIA. There's a 3 for Bean, so he's hit a couple of times from the outside. That's just the second 3-pointer that's gone down the entire game out of 20 attempts for Tougaloo. Radford corner triple. Bean stumbles and a foul on Stratton Rogers. Paul Wilson checks out, gets a hand. Tyler Robinette back on for College of Idaho. Beans attacks all the way, throws the lob for Woodall. Easy penetration. And a beautifully executed lob on the back door. Robinette on Woodall, down on the block. Robinette's been very efficient today. Couldn't get that one, and Stratton Rogers called for fouling Patterson on the rebound. Go back to that Beans lob up for Woodall on the baseline. Just splits Morgan and Radford. That forced Robinette to step up, and there was really not a lot left at the back end of that Yotes defense. Woodall tried to lob it in for Patterson, and another foul called on Rogers. He's picking him up quickly. That's 3 on Rogers now. In the span of what, 2 minutes maybe? Patterson underneath, or I should say Copeland, in traffic, and he's fouled. Cameron Copeland will go back to the free throw line. He is 0 for 7 from the field, all 3-pointers. You know, actually, I think they missed in the official stats a 2-point shot as well from him. He had a floater that didn't go. So he's 0 for 8 from the field. 1 of 2 in his earlier trip to the free throw line. This has not been a good day for Copeland. Senior from Toledo. 82% foul shooter this year. So Montana Tech and OUAZ coming up next. That game, as it stands, actually might start around on time at 3 Central. We'll see. Then at 5 o'clock, top seed in the Dewar Quadrant, Grace against 3rd seeded Georgetown. On the nightcap, another #1 Arizona Christian and #2 Indiana Tech. Lob for Robinette is too tall. 8th College of Idaho turnover. Be off tomorrow, and then the Fab Four on Friday. Back to the NAIA Network at 5 and 7 Central Time before Saturday night. We play for a national title. Timeout on the floor with 10:27 to play in our second half. Tougaloo has cut it down to 21 points. College of Idaho in front, and a timeout called by the Yotes.
Campus will help me to get a job, get my master's, to prepare myself for the world.
It offers students a tremendous amount of opportunity to get real-world experience.
We see Christian students, non-Christian students. We see people from every walk of life.
It's such a good place to be.
It kind of reminds me of home. Your teachers actually look out for you here. You feel invited as soon as you walk in.
You're not going to find any better place to help students achieve what they want.
Colby Blaine's College of Idaho Yotes lead by 21 with 10 and a half to go in our second half this afternoon. Game 1 of 4 today in KC. Nate Gatterbeck with you along with our fantastic crew. On game 9 of 12 in a 3-day stretch, they've been doing a great job. And that's off the hands of Beans and out of bounds. The Yotes get it back. You never want to get ahead of yourself, and you never know what can happen, but it is just difficult to see how this path doesn't end, at least with College of Idaho in the championship game. Montana Tech deserves credit for beating William Penn. Morgan gets to the rim and scores. I think it's pretty clear, though, if you watch that game on Monday night, that from a standpoint of how they match up against College of Idaho, I think William Penn would have been much more difficult for the Yotes in the Fab Four than Montana Tech would be, or OUAZ. Copeland got it, plus a foul, his first field goal, and he's headed back to the line. Cameron Copeland finally getting going. Hope for his sake that he can have a few baskets here to feel good about this down the stretch. Foul goes, I think, on Charles Elzy. Does indeed. That's his third. .20-point game with 9 3/4 to go. Now the two #1 seeds left on the other side could be a different story. They could potentially give the Yotes a bigger problem. Obviously Arizona Christian can, because the Firestorm beat the Yotes back in November and only lost for College of Idaho this year. O'Neal backs in over Fielder and he scores. Been a quiet second half for Jake O'Neal. In fact, that's his first bucket since the break. He has 18 and 8. Fielder 3. Woodall rebound. In the end, it's Patterson who pulled it in, and he goes down hard, holding his left ankle. Antonio Patterson has been really good in this game, particularly in that first half. He was unconscious when he first came in off the bench. He's in some pain. Pointing down at his left ankle. checks out. Daryl Jones is back on for Tougaloo. Elsie out of the corner. Wouldn't go down. Rebound way up in the air. That was probably 25, 30 feet off the floor at its apex. Beans lobs it down for Jones. He's double in the baseline. Falling out of bounds. What a steal by Wyman to catch it cleanly with two hands. 4-on-2. O'Neal has to avoid an offensive foul and gets to the rim. That was really the only thing. A charge was just about all that could have stopped the Yotes at that point. 20 points for Jake O'Neal, even though he's missed 3 free throws. Copeland, tough shot, he got it. Cameron Copeland's starting to get going. He has 7 points. Robinette doubled in the corner. Wyman gets it out to O'Neal, and Morgan can reset. Wyman pretty much wide open at the elbow. That's a little too easy, but a good contest in the end by Jones. Copeland, that was a really tough shot. Jones has the offensive rebound, goes back up. He's stripped by Robinette. Another chance for Tougaloo. Jones again, powers up and scores. 3 tries for the Bulldogs. Jones gets the 3rd one to go. Robinette skips it out to Morgan. Elsie turns and connects. Six points for Charles Elsie. 3 from Copeland. Still can't get it to go from deep. Wyman scores. Back out to a 24-point College of Idaho lead. Wyman has 8 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. I think Jake O'Neal is probably locked up player of the game, but Drew Wyman certainly an honorable mention. Beans knocked out of his hands and a foul on Morgan. That's the 2nd personal foul on Samaje Morgan, who's had a really nice game off the bench as well. 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Line change for the Yotes. Morgan's going to be the only one to stay on. Wyman, Robinette, Elsie, and O'Neal check out. Handren, Rogers, Wilson, and Radford are on. Meanwhile, Pierce returns for Tougaloo in place of Copeland. Fielder also sits down with Brunt in for him. Rebound by Rogers. I wouldn't think that's the last we'll see of Copeland and Fielder. Still 6 and change to go. But I would think with their season's coming to a close here, they'd probably rather be on the floor. Yotes moving the ball deliberately. Morgan on the pull-up. Wilson the rebound over top of Henyard. Radford, Morgan, triple. This time Henyard resists Wilson and a foul called against College of Idaho. I think it's going to go on Stratton Rogers, in which case it's his 4th. No, they got it on Wilson. Well, they put it on, well, that can't be right. They put it on Drew Wyman, who's sitting on the bench. It's on Stratton Rogers, so that's what I thought. We got 1-on-1. So Rogers has 4 fouls all since halftime. Well, they have him on the board only with 3. So either way. Henyard gets both. The first 2 points for the area is Henyard, who had a big first half on Monday. Helped keep Tougaloo in the game when St. Thomas looked the better team for at least the first 20, maybe the first 30 minutes of that game. Pull up, Morgan. Not a great three-point shooter, but when Morgan gets just one step in there, even off the dribble, he is really effective. At 12 to 16-foot range. Last out off Henyard. Woodall coming on for Tougaloo, and he replaces Henyard. Senior sitting down with 5:18 to go. Not the way Tougaloo wanted this one to go, not the way LSU Shreveport wanted things to go on Monday against College of Idaho either. It's just the nature of the beast playing the Yotes right now. Or really almost any time this year. Morgan. Rogers the follow. How about that from Stratton Rogers? Pierce knocked away by Morgan out of bounds. That takes us into our final break with 4:48 to go in the game, and College of Idaho up 72-46. Stratton Rogers, wow. Samaje Morgan couldn't get it. Stratton Rogers could. There's going to be a technical foul also called against College of Idaho. We'll clean it up when we get back. 26-point lead for the Yotes.
It's easy to get caught up in emotions around, oh, I feel good, or I feel like I'm getting better, or I feel like I'm getting worse. But having data, big data, over a long stretch of time allows you to actually see your work come into fruition in the form of progress. It just allows you to create a better perspective over your progression. To ignore it entirely is doing yourself a disservice because it's a resource that's available to you.
Hometown Ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
There are two key moments in any college journey: when an acceptance letter arrives and the day the college education is paid off. And College Ave Student Loans is with you to help cover costs all along the way. We offer stress-free private student loans for undergrads, grad students, for parents, even loans to refinance your existing loans. Whether you're starting college, already in the workplace, or just trying to figure things out, turn to College Ave and breathe easy.
Take a look at the bracket. The good news for you is all four of these quarterfinals are today. College of Idaho leads by 26 with just under 5 minutes to go in our first. We have another one coming up, Montana Tech and OUAZ, looking like they might get underway right about on time at 3 o'clock Central. Top seed Grace, third seeded Georgetown to follow, and then number 1 Arizona Christian, number 2 Indiana Tech in our final game this evening. Trajan Fielder shooting the technical free throws. A technical was assessed to Samaje Morgan for College of Idaho as the teams were going to the benches for the break. Fielder connects on both, and Tougaloo will keep possession. Morgan's been good, and luckily for him that tee is not going to cost College of Idaho. It does not appear. Copeland looking for Woodall. LZ ends up with it. LZ all the way to the rim. Didn't get the foul. Rogers did, though, on the follow-up attempt. Stratton Rogers cleaning up a lot underneath. And he will go to the free throw line, where he's a 55% shooter this year. Sophomore from Eagle, Idaho. You know, Kobe Blaine's got to be looking for things at this point to be frustrated about. His team won by 48 on Monday, and they're up 25 in the NAIA quarterfinal. When the other teams are good, he's still finding a way to shake his head over there. Gotta admire that. That one rattles in for Cameron Copeland. Still not a three, but at least he's gotten to see the ball go in a few times. College of Idaho is 4 of 10 at the free throw line, by the way. So that is something to shake your head about, I suppose, from Kobe Blaine's standpoint. A Radford three. You wonder if it could ever matter. It's almost hard watching these first two games to imagine a scenario where any team stays with the Yotes. But again, Arizona Christian has done it. Fielder goes over Wilson, offensive foul. How about that? A 7-footer taking a charge. Kobe Blaine likes that. Paul Wilson's done a lot of non-7-footer things. He had that drive with the no-look fake, taking a charge on a guard. Got to be careful at 7 feet too. He takes a lot of space to get to the ground. He needs a lot of open space in the paint as he's falling backwards. 23-point lead for the Yotes, 3.5 to go. LZ snakes his way to the rim. Wilson follows up. Neither one went down. LZ again. This time it drops. Probably the most difficult shot of the three, and that's the one that goes in. LZ has 8. Dake O'Neal, the only Yote in double figures with 20. Nobody else has more than 8 points. Copeland, oh my goodness, contorting his body. What a finish by Cameron Copeland. He's 0 for 9 from three-point range, but he hasn't let it shake him at the offensive end. 13 points now for Copeland to lead Tougaloo. LZ caught in the air a little bit, but he found Stratton Rogers. Second time Rogers been hanging on the rim in this second half. 2.5 to go. It's a 25-point College of Idaho lead. So this is going to be a 34th straight win for the Yotes. Fielder off the mark, rebounded by Brunt. Copeland attacks again, goes up. That should be a block, and it is. Count the basket. Copeland has 15 points, 14 of them in the second half, and he'll go to the free throw line. So a 34th straight win for College of Idaho as the benches get cleared out now. Maybe more impressively, it's going to be the 16th in a row by double digits. With a handful of those by 40 points or more. And their last handful of games, they've just been dominant. 31-point win in their conference championship game to win the Cascade. Inside, counted plus a foul. Whit Miller, the redshirt freshman from Boise, will have a chance at a three-point play. And then here in Kansas City, a 48-point win in the round of 16 and a 24-point quarterfinal lead with 2:09 to go. Cameron Copeland is going to check out for likely the final time in his Tougaloo career. Darian Pierce Jr. comes on for him. Copeland excellent on Monday. Good again in the second half today. The shot just would not go down for the senior from Toledo. We've said it for a few teams already, right? This is, everybody's good at this point. There's a foul on Tyler Harris that sends Woodall to the free throw line. No shame in losing at this stage. I'm sure for Tougaloo to lose in this fashion by this many points does not feel good, especially a team that's only lost one game all season prior to this one. At the same time, they're setting up to lose by roughly half what Shreveport did on Monday to the Yotes. And I don't think it's out of the question that College of Idaho proceeds to win the national title without anybody getting within single digits. I know it could be Arizona Christian in the championship game. There's a scenario where that works out and ACU beat the Yotes back in November. I just don't see it. So I don't think Tougaloo has to feel any shame in that. Patterson for 3. He has 14. That's his first bucket in the second half. St. Clair on the move. Cooper. Handren, the only starter still on the floor, just orchestrating things for a deeper bench lineup out there for the Yotes at the moment. St. Clair left it short. Woodall the other way. Patterson triggers another one, and he's fouled by Handren. So Patterson will have free throws with 74 seconds to go. But all of that is to say that Tougaloo deserves obviously a ton of credit for a phenomenal season. You don't just show up and win 32 games. But hopefully, again, as the sting of this one wears off in the days and weeks to come, they can all look back on this not only as a great season, but as even a pretty good effort today. You know, it feels sort of like what we were talking about again with Jamestown yesterday. The Bulldogs are 3 of 24 from three-point range today. That's 12.5%. They typically shoot 34%, which would be making about 8 out of 24. So that's an extra 5 three-pointers. You add 15 points to this score, and it's a 4-point game. Now, it's not as simple as that, and College of Idaho deserves some credit for forcing some difficult shots and lowering that percentage a little bit by its own efforts. So I'm not saying this has all been about Tougaloo not shooting well. But I think there's a way you look at this for the Bulldogs and say, you know, we played better defense substantially than Shreveport did. Didn't turn the ball over a whole lot. Didn't give this game away. What made this game go from a loss for Tougaloo and a difficult effort, St. Clair for 3, and it goes down, from a difficult effort and a loss for Tougaloo to a blowout, was that they shot really, really poorly from 3. And that just, sometimes that's how it goes in a single elimination tournament. Elbow jumper is good. First shot here in Kansas City for Tyler Crump. Cooper crosses over, stepped on the sideline. So at least one more shot for Tougaloo here. Copeland, Fielder, Beans. It's a tough pill to swallow at the moment. You can understand that. The officials stopped things. The clock maybe started too early there. Oh, we have a technical foul. An administrative technical. I could only imagine that's either that they just checked in a player who wasn't listed on the book that they handed, or that the player was listed with the wrong number. Cooper is going to shoot. It was the wrong number for one of the players who checked in. It just won on the administrative technical, and Cooper missed it. So, all for naught. Jamal Wiley checked in. He's normally number 20. That's how he's listed in the book and how he's listed on the official roster. He's wearing 14. So that was the administrative technical. Offensive rebound by Tougaloo. They have a couple guys wearing numbers that they're not listed with on the official roster. Who knows who number 24 is? Free throws coming up. Tyler Crump is going to shoot. The College of Idaho will advance to play at 5 o'clock Central Time on Friday in the Fab Four. And the Yotes will await the winner of our next game, which should be starting pretty much right on time at 3 o'clock Central Time. 4th seeded Montana Tech, 7th seeded OUAZ will get the privilege of trying to find a way to topple the #1 overall team in the NAIA on the top overall seed in this tournament. A 17-point win for the Yotes. After a 48-point win on Monday, they march on their 34th consecutive victory, the 16th in a row by double digits. An admirable effort by Tougaloo, but just too much. College of Idaho in the end, and the Yotes pull away for another comfortable win, and they move on to the Fab Four. Let's go back to the bracket one more time. You know College of Idaho is moving on. First team in our Fab Four Friday. And the winner of Montana Tech OUAZ coming up next will advance to face them. Grayson, Georgetown, Arizona Christian, Indiana Tech, all of them playing for the right to get to the championship game where they very well might see the College of Idaho on Saturday night. So we'll step aside and be back with you at 3 o'clock Central Time. #4 Montana Tech, #7 OUAZ, looking for that second spot in the Fab Four. Tougaloo had a lead about 10 minutes into the game. It evaporated. College of Idaho went out to a 20-point lead. At halftime, it grew to nearly 30 during the second half, and the Yotes win comfortably by 17. For our crew in Kansas City, Nate Gatter saying, see ya in a moment. 3 more games still to come on quarterfinal Wednesday at Municipal Auditorium. College of Idaho, the first team into the 2023 Fab Four. They win it by 17.